Welcome in the now number 34 overall player in the 2024 recruiting class. Going to be number one before it's all said and done.
Mhm.
He's the highest ranked defensive lineman in Georgia's recruiting class. 6'5", 275 pounds. Going to be, one of the best defensive linemen in the country when it's all said and done. The
Mhm.
Nigerian nightmare.
Mhm.
That's Joseph Jonah-Ajonye. How you doing, Joseph?
I'm doing great.
We really want to dive into just your experience with Georgia, getting recruited, what you're looking forward to. So I'm going to start with going back to when you first met Georgia, when they first offered you. Tell me the story about Georgia offering you and just what that experience was like for you.
So the first time I ever got in contact with Georgia was at the All-American UA camp. One of the D-line coaches hooked me up with Trey Scott and FaceTimed him. He asked me like how many offers I had and all that, the stars and whatnot, and just asked me if I had Georgia, and I said no, but I wish I did. And so in a matter of seconds, FaceTimed him. Coach Scott picked up on the first ring and just introduced myself. He introduced himself, and that was the first interaction. Probably like 30 seconds, almost a minute. And then Coach Fran came to my school, watch me and Justin practice, and I didn't get to talk to Coach Fran, but Justin got to talk to him. And then after that whole ordeal, um, after practice, another practice. After practice, Coach Scott called me, and we talked for about 20 minutes. And then at the end, he offered me, he gave me the scholarship. And that really just made my whole month really. And I cried, went home again, cried again, and then told my mom she was excited. So yeah,
Well, obviously, there was a lot of emotion there when you got that offer. What was it that meant so much to you receiving that offer from Georgia?
it's because Georgia was my dream school. Since I first touched the football, I always looked at Georgia as like the standard of defense. You know, and since I first like watched them play, like that team has just been so elite. I think it was like 2019. Kirby was starting to build his dynasty, and yeah, it's just been elite. Yeah.
For everybody watching this, Joseph is an incredibly humble person. So I'm encouraging him to not be humble when I ask him this question. But what is special about your game? What's your special trait that makes you such a highly rated football player?
I feel like my special trait is definitely that I'm a freak of nature. I'm 16, benching 430, squatting almost 600, running almost at 20 miles per hour. I think it is 20 miles per hour. So yeah, I'm just a freak of nature. And then my technique, really worked on my technique this off season. So my hands are better now. Quick hands and just the power that I'm able to exert from my frame and my explosiveness off the ball. So yeah.
What's the number one reason why, aside from it being your dream school, what's the
Mhm.
number one reason why you decided Georgia was the right place for me over some of the other options that you had in mind?
It's the work ethic and the culture. The big thing around Georgia is to win and also the connection. The connection between the coaching staff, the supporting staff, the players, and the fans. That was really the big thing for me because culture means a lot to me. You know, um, yeah, and then just the opportunity to win a national championship, get a ring, and just build my legacy. And I'm going there to because there's so many players, there's so many great players, and our iron sharpens iron. So I want to be the sharpest. And so I feel like I go there, I do what I'm supposed to do, work hard. I'm going to be the best defensive player to ever play the game because that's my goal.
I You already told me this story, so I kind of want to revisit it.
Mm-hmm.
You went on your official visit. You let Kirby Smart know you were planning on letting Kirby Smart know that you were going to be
Mm-hmm.
committing. How did Kirby Smart actually find out that you were going to be committing to the University of Georgia?
So my mom was actually the one to tell him. They were having a conversation. I don't remember what it was because I was zoned out. I was looking at all the rings that were in front of me because he had his collection. There's all the rings. I zoned out, just imagining myself wearing one or two, three, three of those. So yeah, and then my mom just told him, he's gonna commit. She said, "We're gonna commit. We're locked in, and we're not going anywhere else." Took the words right out of my mouth because I'm not going anywhere else. I don't care whatever recruiting pitch other coaches have. I found home. This is the place I'm going to stay and develop.
Obviously, I mentioned it at the jump the Nigerian Nightmare. I know that's your Instagram handle.
Mhm.
Um, what should people know about you and just Nigerian culture and what you just sort of that background brings to the Georgia football program?
Definitely that Nigerian people were very athletic people, fierce and aggressive. I feel like that's where I get my playing style from because, once I get mad, I get mad. I usually play the game really calm, try to keep a level head. But if a O lineman does something or says something I don't like, or they just do something to one of my teammates, I get mad and then I start hurting people, you know. And it's their fault. Like I'm gonna hurt people regardless, but I'm gonna really hurt somebody if I get mad.
Love that. And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna ask you a slightly different way than the question I asked Justin about. I asked Justin who's more responsible for both of you ending up at Georgia, and he
Yeah.
credited you. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna actually ask a different way. Justin called you after his Oregon OV, saying, "Joseph, you need to come out to Oregon. You need to come out to Oregon." What did you do to sort of put the kibosh on that and make it that you guys both ended up in Georgia?
This was like 9 p.m. at night. I was about to go to sleep, so I just told him straight up that I said, Justin, I know Oregon is a great place. We both went out there, but if you want to get developed at a high level and make it to the league, and not just be a number in the league, like be well known as a good defensive player, then Georgia's the place to be because, like, forget the weight room. It's just the culture and the example that the other players have set, like Jordan Davis and Quay Walker, all of them. Just the example and the standard. That's really like that's really the place to be if you want to be the best.
Awesome,
So yeah,
Joseph.
that's
Thank you
what I
so
told
much,
him.
man.
You're welcome.